Hi there, this is Dr. Tom Edmonds, your instructor for CISY 229 Information Security Fundamentals, an online course offered by the Computer Science Department at Raritan Valley Community College. I am recording this video actually the night before the class opens, just to introduce the course a little bit myself, introduce WebStudy, how to log in, if you haven't already figured that out, and how to navigate a little bit through the course. Okay, so I'm going to pause now as I move the capture screen completely over the Explorer's window. Okay, having done that, the first thing I will do is type in the URL for the course, which is rbcc.webstudy.com. Hit enter. And that takes me to the first screen in the WebStudy system, which asks for a username and password. In my case, the username is my G number, and my password is none of your business. Hit enter. Takes me in to the Raritan Valley site. WebStudy is not hosted locally, it's hosted out in the cloud. And so we don't have to worry so much about space as we used to with our WebCT product. On the right, they ask you to select a course. You may be signed up for many different courses online. It also gives you a history of courses that you have took. And this course is going to be under Fall 2012. You simply click on it. That takes you into the Information Security Fundamental. It's instructed by me. Picture, in case you're wondering, I'm a big fan, I'm a big science fiction fan, especially Stargate. And a previous professor took my picture, added a gun, and photoshopped it into a picture from Stargate. So I thought I would sort of keep that. It has nothing whatsoever to do with security, but who cares? All right. Now, it says, welcome to your online course, and you'll see this every time you come in and click on the timeline. The timeline is what really runs the course, and it's over here, the second one. You click on that, and it says, again, here's the course. And it's got some information on here that you won't have because you're not an instructor. It will basically just have this list of sessions. Now, each session is tied to the timeline, and within each session are information, files, videos, and assignments, quizzes, and tests and whatnot that are associated with that particular session. Okay, so the first thing that I would do would be to expand the session. And you can see here that the availability date is set for tomorrow. It is Wednesday, right after noon. Here it shows not active because I'm doing this the night before. An expiration date has not been set. Since this is the first time with this course that I'm teaching it online, I decided I would leave all sessions open at least through the midterm, and then all the succeeding sessions open at least through the final, so that you would have access to the material at any given time. I may find a better way to do that. All right, so below the welcome is going to be a message I've composed, and sometimes they're going to be quite long. This one is not that long, and I'm not going to read it right now. You can look through it when you actually log in, and it basically tells you or summarizes some of the things I'm telling you about right now. The bottom of the screen is most important because this is where the items are for every given session, and there's going to be different items, and they'll all have their own colored box to the left, and then it will tell you to the right, or you will see on the right when you hover over it, that it's really a link. And so both of these are links. The first one is a forum. A forum is just an area where you can have a discussion. It's not interactive. We can do interactive ones, but so far I've chosen not to do that. And I haven't set this up yet. I'll be doing that a little bit later tonight if I ever get this video done. And then you'll be able to take part in it during the first week. It's simply going to be introduce yourself and a couple questions. You will be graded pretty much. You get a good grade if you participate, and you don't, you won't. So that's kind of it. Syllabus will explain that. Material, every course will have some material. Normally, it will be the PowerPoint slides from that particular week. In this particular case, it has the weekly schedule, and I can see that I should rename that. It's really not PPT, it's supposed to be PDF, but in any event, if you click on this, and you need to be careful with WebStudy. When you do clicking and you get new screens, sometimes you cancel the screen, sometimes you use the back arrow. And I'm constantly getting those confused. But anyway, I click on that, it launches, you get this annoying message, can't do anything about that. And it launches a PDF, and within the PDF is a link that will take you to the actual schedule for the course. All of this material has been edited in our content management system by Electron, and since I do all my other courses there, I thought I would do the schedule and the syllabus likewise. And so what I provided you is a link. So you click on the link, again you get these annoying messages, but it will actually launch the schedule for the course. And there's some notes there you can read when you get to it. Notice that there are 16 weeks that are associated with the course, and each week we will cover a session. So for a while they'll be in sync. So session 1 is week 1, session 2 is week 2, and those are always in link, but the chapter numbers aren't. So for instance, here is chapter 4 and 5 in session 5, and these chapters refer, of course, to the textbook. And then we get in sync, so all 3 numbers, 6s, 7s, and 8s, and so forth, until you get to 11, and then they get out of sync again. I hope to improve this by at least getting the lines to print around the table so it's easier to read. Haven't figured out why that doesn't work. You'll see, for instance, for week 1, really the only thing that I am due is for you to participate in the forum. Okay, now here's a case where if you cancel this, you'll cancel the course. So you just want to use the back arrow, which takes us back, not exactly where we left, but close. Hit the timeline again, and here we are. We were at the bottom. We did the weekly schedule. I said there were 2 files. One's at the bottom, one's at the top, and the one at the top is the syllabus. There is an instructor to give you information on me. Expanded syllabus. There's nothing there. It's empty, so no sense clicking on that. And then there is the one here. In fact, it says to see the course syllabus, click on the file all the way on the right. And it's the same as the schedule. You click on it, and annoying message. Okay, annoying message, and here is the syllabus for the course. And I think all of you have had me for courses in the past, so this is going to look pretty familiar to you because it's the same template I use for pretty much all of my courses. Online's a little bit shorter. Why the font size are different is not a design criteria. I just was having trouble having the Electron system change this font size. Another problem with these bloody systems. Oops, excuse me. All right. So enough of that. We go back here, back to the timeline again. And if you want to go to the next one, the easiest thing to do is to collapse using this toggle. And now we'll look at chapter 1 really briefly. Okay, now this is going to be pretty much the standard from here on out in all of the sessions. There are going to be notes on the chapters that are covered in the title of the chapter. And as I say at the beginning, they accompany, but they don't replace the written text in your book. You can't just read these notes and hope to pass the quizzes and the exams. This is simply my attempt to highlight what I think is important, and they're going to be somewhat lengthy. All right. At the end here, remember I said at the end you always have the session items. Here is going to be the chapter 1 homework, which is due. Again, you don't click on the box, but you click on the item itself. And this says this homework is due the end of week 1. And I can see as I'm reading this that that date is incorrect. That's basically the beginning of week 2. So I see I've got some work to do after I'm done making this video. All right. And this gives you the instructions for how to do the homework. Okay. And you know, I can look down here and I can see all of you who are in the class, and none of you have submitted anything, and of course I suppose that's the way it should be at this point. All right, going to do the back. That takes me this time right back to where I came from. Material here are Chapter 1 slides, and these are the PowerPoint slides. I'll just click on this quickly. Annoying message. Okay, PowerPoint launches, and there's the slide. All right. And in this particular case, they're PowerPoint. I'm going to change them all as I work on the succeeding sessions to be PDFs, so that those of you who might happen to have a Mac or some other foreign device that can read PDF files will be able to look at the slides. Okay, that's sort of what you're going to do on a week-by-week basis. I'm going to go back now to the beginning of the course. There are some other things here that we'll use throughout the course. You can get some information about me in the course by using that. The live is if we want to do a live chat, and then there are you know, other things that I really don't know what they are yet, but if they look useful, I'll try to use them and let you know ahead of time. All right, I think that's enough for now. This is almost a 12-minute video, which is 12 out of 15, so I need to end anyway. And I look forward to meeting you online, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.